Hi, I'm Kim and you're watching Kim Wilson TV. My channel is dedicated to helping victims of narcissistic abuse get free and stay free. Before I get going with today's video, I just want to take a moment to thank our friend Willa very much for your donation to our channel's PayPal account. Your donations keep the channel going and keep the channel growing. Thank you very much, Willa. Before I moved back to Mexico from Canada, I did a video stating that I could see the signs of a war on Christianity brewing, and overwhelmingly many of you also saw those signs, so there were some people that were very much in defiance of this concept. Those of you who didn't believe it at the time, in light of recent events, I'm going to guess that you probably believed a lot more today. Now, about 3 weeks ago, the government of Canada had concluded that Christianity was nothing more than hate speech. Therefore, it would be best for all concerned if they banned and criminalized Christianity in Canada. The state of California, a week after that, so that would be about 2 weeks ago now, also deemed Christianity to be nothing more than hate speech, and also stated that it would be their intentions to ban and criminalize Christianity in the state of California as well. Many Christian street preachers have been arrested and charged with hate crimes in Canada. So I'm just going to go as far as to say that war on Christianity was very real. Over the last couple of months, I've had to take a break from making videos, and that is because, oh my God, since the day I started this channel, I have been so targeted by narcissists. I have been signed up for every porno site. I have had my email accounts hacked, and though I can see your emails, it's kind of hit and miss as to whether or not I can even open them. I have about 100 emails sitting there now, and click away as I might, nothing's opening. So I did take that computer that I use daily back into the shop. I've got another virus in my computer. My social media sites get hacked, and of course any videos that I mention Christianity and of course are demonetized. I've had Telmex here at my house several times. I need an upload speed to post a video, a minimum 10.0. My upload speed right now is 0.03, so I'm not even close to being able to upload a video, but I have been to a local cyber cafe, and the gentleman said I can go in there and use his internet. So I am upstairs today in the kids' rec room, their music studio actually, making a couple videos. I am going to go out to the cyber cafe, and God willing, these videos will load. Over the last couple of months, between viruses and difficulties with my internet lines, and Telmex has been here I think 5 times, they are going to swap out all my lines for new fiber optic lines, and that should help a bit. But over the last couple of months, I really haven't been able to load a video, and I have put that time to good use. I have become extremely observant about what's going on within our community, and coincidentally, as this war on Christianity has been gaining momentum, I've seen a real increase of occultism, New Age philosophy growing here within our genre at YouTube, and I want to talk about that today. I'm sure many of you are aware of what New Age philosophy actually is, but for those of you who don't know, New Age philosophy's origins are deeply steeped in occultism, Satanism, black magic, witchcraft, voodoo, these types of dark religions, and, well, overridingly satanic type philosophies. Now, New Age philosophy was developed during the Enlightenment era in Rome during the 18th century, and though the typical religions that we're all familiar with today did exist in those days, there was still a tremendous amount of Satanism, black magic, superstition, and things like this. I mean, humanity had just, not evolved that far, and they were still kind of throwing rocks at the moon in many cases. So it's no wonder that black magic really did remain very, very prominent in society during that era. And as New Age philosophy grew, it developed a couple of real anchor, foundations, concepts that they sort of fall back on to validate themselves and to lure people into that, occultist sort of world. One of those concepts, and one of their most prominent, is the concept of the damaged inner child. Over the years, I've kind of done a few tongue-in-cheek sort of videos about the concept of the broken inner child. And for many occultists, what they're presenting as evidence, of this broken inner child is the theory that as children we suffered some sort of abuse. Now, they even go as far as to say that a child left in its crib, for a period of time, be it 3 minutes, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, crying, and their mother not responding immediately because she was vacuuming, cooking dinner, changing your little sibling or doing whatever was happening, it resulted in, the idea that you've been abused somehow. Now, there is absolutely zero evidence to support this claim of the damaged inner child. In fact, they present the concept as being, something that could have been initiated, because you had to wait 3 minutes, crying, for your mother to get there, right to the extreme of physical or sexual abuse as a child. And it's pretty broad spectrum there of abuses. There is no evidence to support this concept whatsoever, but there is evidence to support the exact opposite. In fact, early childhood behavioral experts say that when a child is left crying in its crib, the child learns independence, the child learns patience, and children are very resilient, even at a very young age. They're very bright, and one of the things that's happening in a young child's mind, and I mean even a baby's, is a baby, when it cries, comes to understand that the mother comes. The child stops crying, the mother goes away, the child cries again, the mother comes back. And this concept that the mother is going to return really is very, very beneficial for children to learn patience and tolerance and other very good human qualities. There is absolutely no evidence whatsoever to support the New Age concept that the child is becoming damaged from this. Age philosophers or occultists will use this concept of the broken inner child to lure you into their realm of black magic and dark religion. Basically, what we're talking about here is Satanism. Now, what they want you to believe is that because of this damaged inner child, you yourself are now so broken that you are just attracting narcissists into your life or attracting career failures or other life failures. Again, there is no evidence to support this theory whatsoever, though there is more evidence to the contrary. You don't have to do more than a minute's worth of research to discover what the origins of New Age philosophy are. It is Satanism and occultism, black magic. Now, when research is done on this theory that the broken inner child causes an adult person to have problems in life has been debunked a million times. What this occultist theory wants you to believe is that you have detached from your inner child, and this has caused in you a type of splitting. Now, we all know that the result of splitting can lead to, narcissism. This is one of the concepts and theories about what made a narcissistic person narcissistic. They experienced an abuse as a child, they detached from that child, and they split, thus making them extremely vulnerable for a shift in their personality, for soullessness, the development of an inability to love or be compassionate. Now, they want you to believe the same thing about yourself, that you are highly vulnerable to abuse and horrible things and odious acts to take place in your life. And this is simply not the case. There's no evidence to support this. What has actually been proven regarding this theory is that when a person is sucked down this whole of black magic and New Age philosophy, when a person falls for this satanic theory that they have split from self, it helps to eliminate responsibility for your own actions. In fact, research would conclude that when an adult falls for this misinformation, this deception, that adults then detach from their own level of responsibility. And of course, each of us is responsible for keeping ourselves safe. Now, initially, of course, when we fall victim to narcissism, we really have no idea what's going on. But as our groups continue to grow and as our community finds each other, of course, we've become more and more aware. And that awareness should give us the ability to accept responsibility, learn the warning signs, and be able to better protect ourselves in the future. But New Age philosophy wants to leave you vulnerable, believing that you have no control over this because you have somehow detached from self. And this is an absolute lie. I think most of us have seen firsthand that narcissists are all very, very much the same. They're all working out of the same playbook. They all repeat the same looping behaviors. And I think what we see growing here at our community is part of that hive mind collective working in a unified way to keep people sick. Now, that's not to say there aren't incredible YouTubers in our genre doing everything in their power to help free and liberate victims from this odious form of abuse. But there is also a real surge of New Age philosophy, and of course, other anchors that New Age philosophers use is the concept that you are so badly broken, you can't trust your own intuition, therefore you need an intuitive guide. The concept that you are so gravely damaged that your spirit is now broken and you need a spiritual guide. All of this is so deeply steeped in Satanism and occultism and black magic, and to come to a really clear understanding of what this is doesn't take more than a few minutes of research. Now, do these YouTubers know what they're doing? Are they consciously working as part of a hive mind? Well, I don't know if they're conscious of it, but they themselves should have done a little research before they chose this path, this line of narcissistic abuse recovery to inject into people's lives, because to get away from evil, you have to actually get away from evil, not get free from a narcissistic relationship just to find, you're now on a healing path, with someone deeply steeped in occultism. That's just defying, the whole concept of healing. That's not removing you from evil. It's not removing you from bad intentions against you or sabotage against you. It's just more of it. Now, you have to remember that evil never shows up looking ugly. Evil shows up looking very attractive, very friendly, very pleasant. Evil appears to have your best interest at heart. But I'm going to ask that you do a little research. When you see this New Age philosophy concept, approach it very, very cautiously, or don't approach it at all. I personally don't allow any evil in my life. I am not going to fall victim to concepts that I can clearly see well documented as having its origins in the satanic faith. I'm just not going there. When someone tells me that I need a spiritual guide or an intuitive guide, what I hear them saying is, I'm trying to lure you away from God. I'm trying to lure you away from assuming responsibility, from learning, from growing, from reaching my full potential. It's just another form of mind control manipulation. An empath, there's one thing that you can be sure of. Your light is bright. And when your light is bright, there is always going to be a dark force eager to dim your light. Just keep your eyes open, guys. I love you lots. I'm Kim. You're watching Kim Wilson TV. Be careful, and I hope you're having a great narc-free day.